Greetings and welcome back to Tomorrow J News. I'm Ray Chen. Thank you for being with us here today. We'll begin today's program by looking at anger rooms in China. Let us turn to reporter Ting Ting.
Hi, let me introduce and summarize an event about anger room in China that happened recently. There is an anger room set in September in Beijing by Jing Man and her friends. Jing Man is a 25-year-old lady who quit her job in public relations to start a room and has 600 customers a month. The room is equipped with bats and hammers and provided the old broken a device or piece of equipment, such as television, clocks, and telephones. Jin has set up links with multiple second-hand stores to ensure a steady flow of broken objects. Those young people in China are venting their frustration in an anger room. For example, it allows them to smash up wine bottles to release tension. This kind of situation makes Jin and her friends believe that they have provided a safe place for people to let out negative energy, and they are happy about that. According to Jin, the room is not intended to promote violence but to reduce people's stress in a city like Beijing, where they are under lots of pressure. It is aiming at people aged about 20 to 35. In an interview, Zhao Hanjing, one of the managers, said people liked smashing television the most because it feels really good when you smash the whole piece of the screen and the whole movie. This room is set up inside a former factory by Jim, but Jim hopes to open a second branch in a shopping mall to allow people to stop for a quick smash when they shop. Let's move on to economic news.
Your report. Now moving on to economics. On December 1st, 2018, at the Group of 20 Summit meeting in Buenos Aires, President Trump and President Xi called truce on the trade war that has been raging on the past year by agreeing to halt new tariffs for 90 days. A deadline in early March was set in place, after which, if no deal is reached, tensions may heat up once more. The two countries have been trying to bridge their differences since, holding more negotiation rounds between mid-level officials. The Trump administration has been trying to ensure China commits to the pledges it made during the summit meeting of purchasing an unspecified amount of American industrial and agricultural products. Similarly, the Trump administration's officials have announced that the biggest concern of the United States is no other than securing, quote, the need for any agreement to provide for a complete implementation, subject to ongoing verification and effective enforcement, unquote. The Trump administration and its supporters have found the talks promising. Quote, I'm optimistic that they're making progress. The tone of the talk is important, and this tone has been good, unquote, said Dean Pinkert, former commissioner of the United States International Trade Commission. However, experts remain uncertain about the extent of success of the talks at this point. For instance, according to negotiations at the three-day talk beginning from January 6, 2019, China's offers, especially ones regarding trade policies that the U.S. considers unfair to end the trade war, has been nebulous at best. Among the trade policies that the Trump administration officials consider unfair is the forced transfer of technology and intellectual property of foreign companies in exchange for market entry in China. Although in March 2018, China has already vowed to abolish the policies, complaints from foreign companies suggest that the policy is still being practiced. In response, China has denied the officials' claims that its trade policies are unfair. The fact that each branch of the Trump administration is pursuing a slightly different and somewhat contradictory agenda also heightens the difficulty of the talks. Leading the trade talks, Robert E. Lighthizer is adopting the hard stance of imposing taxes and requiring China to commit to its pledges. The Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross, in comparison, seeks to incentivize China to buy more American-produced goods. The Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, on the other hand, is looking to stop advances in tariffs. Likewise, President Xi's invitation of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to Beijing is raising the difficulty of reaching an agreement as well. It is surmised that Xi is attempting to remind the U.S. of its influence on U.S. interests if the two fail to strike up a deal. China has leverage on China has leverage to complicate the United States' attempts to denuclearize North Korea. Hence, the fate of the deal remains ambiguous. What we could be sure of, however, is that ongoing discussions between China and the US are hoped to be conducive to solving economic issues caused by the trade war in both countries. Now we'll be moving on to a commercial break. Stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Hey, it's Daniel Zhen. Wherever I go, EOS goes.
Hi, welcome back to TMRJ News. Here we have a national news for you. On January 13th, 7 people stormed the home of a new Taipan man after video surfaced of him physically assaulting his son and wife over meatballs that were not spicy enough. On January 13th afternoon, a member of Baoyan Gongshe posted a video on the Facebook group showing Lin beating his son for bringing back Taiwanese Baoyan without the hot peppers he had requested. The verbal abuse soon transforms into physical violence, with the man striking his son in the face and choking his wife.
就在加辣就好了。
然后呢？
那就去加辣，干嘛逼他吃？
为什么没有辣呢？
没有辣就是没加到啊。
所以呢，辣。
对。
那老板为什么没加辣？为什么老板会听？为什么老板会听你的？
你为什么要这样弄？
老板为什么不听你的？
你干嘛这样？老板没有加到，他又为什么要逼他？
所以是老板的错吗？
为什么这样？
为什么他说辣，老板没有加辣呢？
甜不辣有加辣，他有问我要不要加辣，我跟他说霸王有一个要加辣，可是他就是没有加辣。
你现在要说谎吗？
他没有说谎。
说谎吗？
这样打人，他没有说谎。
说谎吗？
对不起，等一下，对不起，等一下，
说谎吗？
对不起，对不起，对不起，对不起，我不可以，对不起，我跟你说，
说谎吗？
Outrage on social media soon spread like wildfire, prompting 7 men to gather outside of Lin's home and ring the doorbell. Once he opened the door, they stormed in and started slapping him to get revenge for his son and wife.
灰男手拿辣椒，讲没几句就朝沙发男的头扒了下去。
Meanwhile, a huge angry mob numbering in the hundreds gathered outside of Lin's home and started to fry chili peppers in protest. The police told ET Today News that they had received a report of the domestic disturbance involving Lin, his wife, and son at 8 p.m. on January 12th. After Lin's wife and son were sent to the hospital, doctors documented bruises on the woman's head and shoulder, while the 12-year-old boy had bruises on his right cheek and abrasions on his left ear and right hand. Police said that an emergency protection order has been applied for to shield the woman and her children, and negotiations with the Department of Social Welfare have begun on taking steps to prevent Lin from assaulting the family again. Remember, if any domestic violence happens, please call 110, the police station, or 113, the Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault Prevention Center. Now let's move on to entertainment news.
Thanks to Maggie. Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the breaking entertainment news that happened recently. Sandra Oh has held diversity at this year's Golden Globe Awards as she became the first woman of Asian descent ever to host the show. She won the award for Best Actress in a TV drama.
And the Golden Globe goes to Sandra Oh!
This is Sandra Oh's second nomination and second win. She's winning her Golden Globe for her role of Eve Polastri in Killing Eve tonight.
Moreover, Asians have been posting celebration posts on social media. As soon as she was announced as the winner, Oh walked onto the stage crying. She said, "There are 2 people here tonight that I'm so grateful that they are with me," she said, fighting back with tears. "I would like to thank my mother and my father." During her speech, she also honored her Korean parents in the sweetest way. Welcome to a weather forecast. Now let's see what the weather will be like today. In the north of the country, It will be very windy and cold. And the temperature is around 15 degrees to 16 degrees. There's a chance of some rain too. So don't leave home without your umbrella. In the middle of the country, there will be cold and the temperature is around 17 degrees to 18 degrees. In the east and west, it is all raining today. So there might be a thunderstorm in the afternoon. So be aware of it. The temperature is around 18 degrees. And in the south, the temperature is quite hot and humid. So you don't need to bring umbrella today.
Welcome to our weather forecast. I'm Julie. Oh my god. Okay, as you can see, the trees are swaying in the wind.